On today's show, we will be covering the physical science lab trip to California and the theater department's newest production, Alice in Wonderland.
We will also discuss the election results in some detail. What's for sports today, Ashlyn?
Sports may be seeing a big change soon from Division II to Division I in the future.
Hi, and welcome to the Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Emma Van Lent.
And I'm Stephanie Dupar. Thanks for tuning in.
The midterm elections are officially over and the results are in. Republican candidate Mitt Romney won the U.S. Senate seat with over 62% of the votes. In a surprising turn, Proposition 2 passed, making medical marijuana legal in the state of Utah with over 53% of the votes as for. Proposition 3 on Medicaid expansion also passed, as did the proposition for Constitutional Amendment AA. However, Option 1 on gas tax increase for education and road funds did not pass. Over 66% of the votes came back as against. For a full list of results, you can visit thenewyorktimes.com. Dixie State University is increasing class sizes in certain departments, and these changes resulted in some hesitations among faculty members. A major concern in the Media and Communications department, where the changes are being made first, is that many classes require the professors to work one-on-one with their students, and increasing the class size may take away from the professor's ability to take time with each and every student. There is also the worry that the increase will affect certain professors' workloads, giving them less time to effectively and accurately grade students' work. The school says its goal isn't to change anything substantially, but rather than to hopefully increase class sizes by approximately 5 students, and that the increase will, in the end, be beneficial for students here at DSU. Today is First Generation Day. This day was set aside to celebrate and acknowledge the success of first-generation students, faculty members, and staff. To be a first-generation student is to be the first family to have a 4-year education. Last year, 38% of Dixie State graduates were first-generation students. We would like to offer our congratulations to these students who are blazing the trail to higher education.
Dixie State University's theater department presents Alice in Wonderland. The production has been directed by Christine Davies and will be performing November 8th through 10th, 12th, and the 14th through the 17th at 7:30 p.m. The performance will be located in the Eccles Black Box Theater. Tickets are available online or at the box office. Marine biology may not be the easiest subject to study in the desert. Luckily for students, the Environmental Science Lab takes field trips to Catalina Island. Here is a sneak peek of the experience. Every semester, groups of 80 or so students make their way from the Red Desert of St. George to Catalina Island on the California coast. Students spend 4 days camping while learning about every detail of the island, from microscopic plankton to the history of the rocks that make up Catalina. It's no wonder, with views like these, that the experience is popular with students and teachers.
The experience is better than sitting in a classroom staring at me talking or using a boring PowerPoint. So, why look at pictures when you can actually look at the real thing?
Didn't want students to just be in a building talking about environmental science. I wanted to get them out in nature and experiencing the important aspects of it that we talk about in class.
In the actual classroom, we've learned a lot about sustainability and different ways to help the environment and stuff, but out there we had classes that helped teach us more about the environment and how we affect it.
This environmental science lab has been following active learning, active life before it was even a motto. It's the ultimate mix of work hard, play hard. Students study marine life while scuba diving or canoeing in the ocean. They learn to identify the many wildflowers on the island and look for native animals while hiking.
Don't miss it, because you never know when it's going to end. What better lab could you ever take? Pick any lab. 4 days on an island and getting a credit for it and having some experiences you'll never get anywhere else.
While the trip does come with an extra fee, it is a once-in-a-lifetime experience. Students who are interested can learn more at dixiesunnews.com.
Well, Stephanie, I think that is an incredible experience for students who are interested interested in an alternative learning opportunity.
It's definitely one of the most wonderful resources we have here on campus. The teachers are just so fulfilling, and I heard that they might change the location, so it's better to get on this now rather than later.
I completely agree. You wouldn't want to miss out. Coming up after the break, we'll have more insight on women's basketball, as well as the Division I athletics possibility that was received during last night's meetings.
Do you think people like John McCain and other people would just sit there quietly on the sides?
Well,
and
no,
that many Republican activists would refrain from registering their disapproval in the peanut gallery?
Some might argue that Republican activist is an oxymoron.
Oh, I don't think so.
Okay.
I think there's a lot of activism.
Right.
But
We
do you
just
see
didn't
what
see
I'm
it.
saying? If you just flip it right over on its head,
I would like to flip it on its head, and in fact, I'm already doing that because my own position is free speech is free speech. Okay, and I'm kind of advocating for something that I'm really not supporting in this respect. As far as protesting or not protesting and being able to recognize your audience, what we need on either side, I don't care where you're coming from, is the ability to recognize the audience.
Man, where's Carrick? The show's about to start.
What a great shot from Carrick Segmiller. This shot lands about 12, 13 feet away from the hole as he marks his ball, lines up the putt to win the tournament.
Hey, have any of you guys seen Carrick?
I think he went that way.
Segmiller eyes his ball as he lines it up. Again, this putt for Buddy will win the tournament. He steps to his ball. The putt's on its way. It's got the right speed. It's in! Carrick Segmiller for Buddy to win the tournament as the crowd goes wild. He is celebrating. He is ecstatic.
Yeah. Carrick, we got showed it in like 5 minutes. Let's go.
Come on, man. I'm just playing some golf. Come on, let's go.
Welcome back. Here's Ashlyn with more in sports.
Thank you, Stephanie. Dixie State Volleyball hosted a conference tournament game for the first time against Colorado Springs Tuesday in the Student Activity Center. A 3-set sweep against in-state rival Westminster College last week was a comforting victory compared to what was coming next, the quarterfinals. The 4-set match began with a quick victory from DSU in the first set and followed suit in the second. The real pressure began when in the third set the Lions led with an unanswered 5 points. Their lead quickly continued and they gained the victory of the third set. DSU held a 6-point lead for the majority of the fourth set, ensuring the desired spot in the semifinals. DSU volleyball will compete in the semifinals tomorrow. The time and place are to be determined. If they win, they'll compete in the finals the next day, possibly becoming the 2018 RMAC tournament champions. Dixie State women's basketball team began the 2018-2019 campaign on Tuesday with an exhibition matchup at Brigham Young University inside the Marriott Center at 6 p.m. The 83-56 loss was a surprise to the Trailblazers, who held a 4-point lead in the first quarter. Unfortunately, the advantage flipped to a 21-14 lead by the Cougars in the second quarter, who kept the advantage for the rest of the match. Since the move to the NCAA Division II ranks for the 2006-2007 season, the Trailblazers have made 4 trips to the Marriott Center for contests against BYU. The Cougars claim victory in each of those 4 games. Head coach J.D. Gustin and assistant coach Nicole Yazzie are third-year staff members of DSU women's basketball, and alongside them are 2 new coaches, promoted student assistant John Long and current student assistant Connor Firth. DSU will officially open the 2018-2019 season this Saturday against Northern New Mexico inside the Burns Arena, with tip-off scheduled at 5:30 p.m. Dixie State is exploring the possibility of joining the Western Athletic Conference and becoming a Division I athletic program. Athletic Director Jason Booth hosted open forums in the Gardner to discuss with students and the community any concerns that they might have. There are factors that go into transition like this, including relocation of financial resources, a 6-year timeline, and going independent for football. A decision will be made November 30th by the Board of Trustees. That is a huge leap for Dixie State Athletics. We have come so far as a university.
I completely agree. I think that even though it's still 6 years away, it's showing that DSU is becoming not only the university to watch, but the athletic department to watch.
Exactly. As you said before, the Board of Trustees will be deciding on this November 30th. I am so just anxious, and we'll be to see what's going to happen then. And that's a wrap for this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News.
Catch us back here next week, same time, same place.
Thanks for watching, and have a great week, Trailblazers.